Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're going to do a kind of a showcase spotlight for Grand Oak Padraig. He was a recent guarantee from a Heroes Path event. So if you guys will recall, Grand Oak Padraig, he is a Sylvan Watcher. He came from the most recent Heroes Path. He was, I believe, about 27 Sacreds worth. Anyways, green Gandalf here, Grand Oak Padraig. I always struggle with saying Grand Oak. I don't know why, but Padraig. Anyways, he is super good. I was a little bit lukewarm on this guy when I first saw him. I was like, oh, another ally attack. He doesn't give crit damage, doesn't give crit rate. Crit rate is not that important, but crit rate is on a 4-turn cooldown, so it's not like it doesn't have a shorter cooldown than like other ally attacks. But you know what really sets him apart, actually, I think, is his passive. His passive ability is very flexible. So depending on the type of champion that is on the team, he gives the corresponding buffs, which is really good for things like Hydra. So you get a lot of value from this because obviously your Hydra team is 6 champions. And it's really nice to have basically the correct corresponding buffs for your attack and defense based nukers. HP, sorry, you're out of luck, but no buff for HP based nukers. But yeah, it's very, very nice. The other thing that really sets him apart is actually his A1. His A1 gives a 50% chance at decreasing the cooldown of a random ally skill by 2 turns. I kind of underestimate how strong this ability is in a really prolonged fight. In a prolonged fight, this ability, you can definitely get a lot of extra damage out of this ability, depending on what you surround him with on the team. So what I'm referring to is basically like in a Hydra fight, which is, you know, it can't last very long. The longer it lasts, the more A1s he gets, and the more A1 he gets, the more chances there are to decrease a ally's cooldown by 2 turns. And some ally abilities can be very, very strong. Let me quickly show you guys the Heroes Path that I was referring to. So remember, if you guys will remember the Heroes Path that we had to go down to for the Padraig, and he also came with the 5-star soul. I remember saying the 5-star soul was definitely not worth it for Padraig because he actually doesn't require accuracy on much of this. His A1 is an effect for your own team, so it doesn't require accuracy, and then none of his moves require accuracy. But here he was at the 60,000 here. It took about 27 sacreds to I believe to get him, or was it 23? It might have been 23 and then 27 to get the epics. It might have been 27 to get the epics, and I believe to get him it was 23 sacreds. So correct me if I'm wrong here. My memory is a little bit fuzzy, but it's about 23, a little bit expensive. But you know, I'm glad I got him. He's actually really, really insane. He also comes with a 25% speed in dungeons. Obviously, you want attack in all dungeons and all battles, but speed in all battles. But speed in dungeons here, pretty big. He's got great base speed as well. I'm going to show you guys how I built him out. I got 2 builds for you guys, and I'm going to show you guys in a couple different applications here for him. Alright, so this is my Padraig here for my alt account. I got him in a 4-piece reflex set. The reflex gives you 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was like, what? I only have 3 pieces? Oh, I'm looking at protection. But reflex basically gives you a 40% chance to reduce a random skill by 1 turn. So it gives him extra chances to get his ally attack, which is really, really strong. It might not be the best set on him, but it's kind of like a set that works. Extra cleanse is also good, also for things like Hydra and stuff, and it does have a turn meter fill and then the increased speed to increase the uptime on the increased speed. I tried Relentless. Relentless also works on him again to get extra ally attacks, get extra speed and turn meter boost. So Relentless also works. I think ideally I would put him in 9-piece protection. So 9-piece protection, if you got the gear, it's right here. 75% chance to place protected buffs. That's good, but that's not the big thing. But the big thing is here, allies deal 5% more damage for each buff placed by this wearer. So this wearer can place continuous heal as well as increased speed, and then he guarantees one of these. So he guarantees 5% buff already, and then if he has both of these, an additional 15% buff. I think a 9-piece would be great on him. I don't have 9 pieces for Sylvan Watchers, unfortunately. But I think for the end game, for Hydra builds, 9-piece protection is great. If you don't have any sets to go on Padraig, just make him fast and relatively tanky stats. So just give him some HP, some defense, make him relatively fast. He doesn't need accuracy, he doesn't need resistance, so it'll work just fine. Books ideally. If you have a blessing on him, I took survival instinct just because I get some extra turn meter fill. It's not necessary, but you don't really want to take you don't want to take polymorph, doesn't really work. You can't take brimstone because he has no accuracy on himself. The other ones don't really make too much sense. Temporal chains, I mean, decrease enemy speed. You can't decrease speed of hydras, for example. You could take, yeah, you can't really take too much intimidating presence. You get an extra little bit on the aura. Heaven cast, he doesn't deal damage himself. Miracle heal, he already has his A2 that recovers max HP loss. So, I mean, yeah, there's not too much you can put on. So blessing is not super high value for him. And also mastery is not really a super high value for him either. He doesn't need, for example, War Master to deal damage. He's not going to deal a lot of damage. And he doesn't need accuracy. He doesn't need accuracy, doesn't place debuffs. So what you want to do is basically the most important one is probably to get lasting gifts to increase the duration of his buffs. After that, you probably want Psycho Magic so you get an extra chance to get his big skills or his ally attack back. Could take some turn meter stuff, extra stats here, some turn meter stuff when a buff expires. And then I went for Elixir of Life, as well as extra A1s. So extra A1s are good because the A1s give a chance to reset one of your allies' moves. Could be a big move, could be one of your nukers getting their big moves back. Standard Hydra Mastery, so you want the AoE protection here. Extra healing when he gets healed. Resurgence, just super good. Delayed Death against bosses is really good. And then I took Shadow Heal, just extra chance to heal up. There wasn't really a super strong option here. He's never going to kill anybody with Bloodthirst, so I took Shadow Heal just in case the Hydras had a chance to heal up. Alright, so I'll show you guys my other build on my other account. Just one sec. Alright, so I hopped over to my main account. So this is my Grand Oak Padraig on my main account. So on this account, I basically just gave him speed. I didn't have fast enough gear to put him in like Relentless or Reflex or Protection gear, for example. I needed him to hit the speed because of my Fire Knight Hard 10 team. I'll show you guys that in a second here. But basically, I just made sure he got enough speed. He's not overly tanky. He's only got 61k. My other Padraig, for example, had 84,000 HP. But he is much faster. He's 60 speed faster. And it's important because, like I said, my Fire Knight Hard 10 team. The only thing special on this guy is like I do have a refresh accessory. Refresh accessory gives extra chance for some of his big skills, ally attack, or his turn meter boost with the speed up. I also put him with some revenge accessories. So revenge accessories come from the tag team bazaar, so make sure you guys get those once in a while. But these are really good because these will give him extra A1s when he is hit. When he gets these extra A1s, he'll reduce the cooldown on your, one of your allies is big moves, hopefully, and then you get some more damage that way. And like I said, you get a lot of value from the A1 over long periods of time. Beyond that, I basically just put speed on him. So I'll show you guys some of the gear pieces. So double speed here, triple speed here, triple speed here, basically. Triple speed, flat defense glove. Who cares? You just need them for speed. This one got the double speed here, and then together they got a plus 10% speed. It's just honestly just kind of spare gear that I just put on. Like I got some useless accuracy stats. But yeah, it is what it is. It's the build and it works totally fine. I don't use them for like Nightmare Hydra or anything. I mainly use them for like hard or brutal teams. Fully booked. He works really well. Honestly, he doesn't really need masteries, but here are the masteries I put on him. Basically the same as my other Padraig, except the other Padraig used Elixir of Life. And this one I was trying Timely Intervention. So it increases the champion's turn meter by 20% whenever an ally drops below 25%. So this kind of gives him a chance to ally attack, or gives him a chance to cleanse, for example. If they take a big hit and they have some debuffs, it might actually help them out. Also a turn meter boost for your whole team if you have the A3 available. So I just thought maybe this one would work. Otherwise, it's probably this one, or you can build like maybe some kind of resistance build. But honestly, like masteries feel not super worth it on Padraig, so you can probably get away with stopping right here, to be honest, and then save the red scrolls, right? But up to you guys. But yeah, this is the build I got on both of them on both my accounts. I'll show you guys what he can do. Hold on here. So this is the team I got him in. Basically, he replaced my Lonathro as the ally attack champion. The good thing about him is that he has the dungeon speed aura, so you see here plus 25%. So he allowed me to basically re-gear my Mikage to be a bit slower. I'll show you guys the setup here. Just give me a sec. You guys the setup. The Padraig, he's 381. Yeah, just gotta make sure that the ally attack is off on the A2. A3, you open on the ally attack. And then Mikage is only 353. These are with plus 20 speed bonuses from my my live arena Grey Hall. So yeah, Mikage here, same kind of deal. You open with the ally attack, you turn the ally attack off in the A2 on the wave 2. Kaimar, his resets coming on the boss only. You have Nut here. Turn off the big hit on the wave 2, and then open with the big hit on the boss. Same thing for the second Nut. But basically, this team only works if I believe your first ally attack needs to be close to 393 speed. But I think Kaimar's turn meter boost on the Seal of Magic helps push like a slower speed champion over 393. And then both nuts have to be 250 or higher. So Kaimar comes in here just slightly slower than the two nuts. So as long as your Kaimar is over 250 and your nuts are just slightly faster than your Kaimar, then you're all set to go. All right, guys. So I'm going to do a quick showcase here. Let's just do a single fight to save some energy. All right, so we're just going to do whatever move on the wave 1, clear it as quickly as possible. The limitations of these kind of builds is going to be the wave clearing and how you can manage to basically conserve your skills while killing the waves fast enough. Sometimes some teams, I know, like they kill the waves too fast and then they don't have time to get their main skills off cooldown. So when do you at one point do you decide to turn off the skill altogether, kind of thing? So here, like, we're doing a pretty good job here. The defense up is really good from Padraig. You notice that our nuts have the defense up. It increases the damage from their AoEs, which really help. So if my Kaimar was stronger, obviously, then I would have just killed them. But, you know, it's a pretty good run. We got to the boss before 1 minute. I'll show you guys how this works. So the ally attack goes in. Brings it down to 11. Second ally attack goes in. Should bring it down to pretty close to, yep, 2. Usually it's 2 or 3. And then the nut comes in with the big bash. 10% of damage goes through minimum. Second one goes in, so another 30% hit. And then Kaimar resets, and then the ally attack goes back in. Shuts down the turn meter. Second ally attack will go back in. The only way this run fails is if there's multiple resists on the turn meter drops. That's probably the only way this fails. This doesn't rely on Phantom Touch or anything like that. But yeah, pretty solid run here, 137. You notice my fastest run, 129. But yeah, that's how it works. Padraig, a big part of it. Like I said, his speed aura for the dungeons helped Mikage re-gear herself. So she's a little bit slower, and so I use her in arena and a little bit of a slower build. But Padraig's really good. He also gives the defense up to make the nuts hit harder against the waves. So that's a definite plus for him in this team. So the other really good spot for Padraig, probably the main spot for him, is Hydra. So this is actually my Hydra team. I've been using it for maybe the last 2 weeks, and it's been very successful even on full auto. So this week I did 364 with 364 million with this team on brutal, which gives you about 1,000 clash points. Again, it's a full auto run. So Padraig basically comes in here, he spreads out the buffs. So we got defense-based nukers, attack-based nukers, but he basically going to give the buffs to these guys. He also offers a cleanse, which helps against like the Head of Torment, for example, or the heal reduction. So it's definitely very helpful. And then we have Lady Mikage here. So both ally attackers fueling this team with 3 nukers here to deal damage. We cover all the necessary debuffs and buffs. So obviously Islan here, we got the speed down, provoke. He gives some extra protection with the ally protection. He's kind of like a mini Krisk in a lot of ways. I have him actually in 9-piece protection. So he gets some he gives some extra damage there, so it's actually pretty cool. The Harima is just like my standard arena Harima, and then Wukong, same thing, my arena Harima, or my arena build, sorry. Well, and then the Mission Haki here, he's actually in Provoke, so he's not dealing as much damage as he probably could, but he's in Provoke just to offer a little bit extra help for the Islin in case he misses the Provoke. Mikage's here for a ally attack, as well as the A1 powering the Harima damage, and then she has like a soft cleanse with the buff extension and debuff reduction. But Padraig's very, very good here. Like his passive, like I said, powers his team very well, especially like a mix of damage dealers. He's also here for the very important increased speed buff as well. And also he offers a cleanse just for additional help from Mikage. His increased defense for the defense nukers just help Islin for additional coverage as well, because Islin does bring increased defense as well. Lastly, providing that his A1 does land on Mikage once in a while, Mikage is going to be able to do more ally attacks for more damage. And of course, we have 3 damage dealers here to take advantage of Padraig's A1 cooldown reduction. So if he lands it on the damage dealers, the nukers here, they're going to be able to do some more damage for him. So I think this build, like this team overall, works really well. Like I said, it's full auto on Brutal. But yeah, if you guys want to try something like this, it covers most, like all elements that you need against the Hydra. And like I said, it's a full auto team for me, and it's a max turn team as well. Here's the same team with much higher damage. So this was again full auto, 414 on Brutal, max turns, just under an hour full auto. You guys can compare the damage output, but it looks like the Harima here got more damage during this run, and the Wukong got less. But yeah, it just shows how strong and consistent this team is. Padraig definitely a very strong powerhouse here, offering lots and lots of versatility. So I was definitely a little bit underrating him when I was thinking about going for him during the Heroes Path. So I'm super lucky and super happy that I actually went for him. Even though he was a little bit expensive, and I know some people were on the fence for it. Like I said, so here's the Heroes Path again. It took about 23 Sacreds to get him way back in the day. Maybe like a month ago or whatever. But if you guys pulled him, congratulations. He's an absolute boss. If you are an early game player, you guys can throw him in your clan boss team, and he's going to do lots of work for you. As long as you don't have like a speed tune or anything, because he does bring an increased speed, so it might mess up your speed tune obviously, and obviously his A1 cooldown reduction. But he's going to power a lot of teams, give your team some extra damage. He's a great support champion. He doesn't require specific builds, doesn't require accuracy. Just give him speed and make sure he's tanky. He doesn't even need freaking masteries. He doesn't need blessings. He's just an insane champion. I love this guy. Hopefully you got him. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you all. Let me know in the comments below how you guys use Mr. Padraig here. And yeah, let me know what kind of build you guys put him in. Let me know what you guys think of my build. If you guys have any suggestions for me for this Hydra team, for example, let me know in the comments below. Appreciate you all. See you guys in the next video.